What's up, guys? So we have some new development. So the printer has to be down now for about 2 weeks, and we have a couple of issues. And I think the issue was pretty much almost self-inflicted. It's bound to happen. Let me show you. So we're gonna go to the printer, which is in the garage. So what happened was this print head died, right? Let me show you the old print head and what happened. So this is part of the print head. These are these little nozzles right here, right? So what happened was I used baby wipe to kind of wipe around the capping station, and some of the chemicals went onto here and created a chemical reaction, clogged the print head, right? So that was one thing. Now I used a baby wipe that has nothing but water, which is these Hello Bellos right here. But then I switched to an Amazon one thinking, hey, let's save a couple bucks. So once I wiped the capping station, which is what's underneath here, right, there are wiper blades. I wiped around here. I wiped it around here, right? Wiped it here, and it got into the print head and it clogged the system. So I got a new print head and I installed it. Right before doing that, what I did was I had to flush out the tanks because there are sediments in it. So this is something I didn't know. So there was white sediment down here on the tank. Right, so I washed it all out and there was like big chunks. Like I gotta use a screwdriver and scrape. So I poured out the ink into a container, and it's still good. And I washed out the tank with distilled water, rinse it out, all that good stuff, right? And then you have these filters here that have to be changed. Now there was a filter right here, the big one, which looks like, let's see here, this. So that filter was down there, and it filters out anything that you had, right? And so this is the new filter. But what I didn't know was that there was a potential for the filter to allow sediments to pass. So because there was so much sediment in here, it went to here, and then the filter went through, and then it goes to the inlet of the manifold. And then this is the return that is supposed to be connected to here, and then it spills the ink back. Because my system is an always on system. So from here, it goes to the manifold, right? Well, let me show you the manifold. From there, it goes into this white ink manifold, right there. This is the white ink manifold, right? This is the inlet over here on that side. Goes to here, this is supposed to remove any bubbles. And then this is the outlet, and then all the little lines goes to the dampers down here. Right? So what happened was, I think sediment got into here and somehow got into the dampers here. Right? And on top of that, what didn't help was I had these little black connectors that restricted flow. So I don't think I had it here. Just looking through my box here. Let's put this back if we don't need that anymore. So these are the black connectors that I used. Great. These have really small diameter. See that? It's really small. So I think what happened was I put the connectors in here, right? So I can connect it to the new dampers. I think that was restricting the flow, and I think sediment got into here as well, and it got into the print head. and it clogged it. So what I should have done is I should have flushed out the entire system, the white, to get rid of the sediment and any potential clogs, and then replace the dampers, and then fill up the white. That would have solved my issue. But because I had a flow restriction, sediment in the line, and then I possibly has leaking dampers as well, so then it was pulling air and ink wasn't getting to the print head. So it clogged it because ink got inside just a little bit and it overheated as I tried to do more head cleanings and load the ink. So it killed it. So now what I did was I used the old damper still and I just flushed it out with distilled water. So I can flush out the lines and any potential ink sediment. So this is the inlet. I took out the filter. I flushed it with the filter first, and then I took it out and connected to this. This line is connected to the waste ink right now, and I have distilled water there. And so pour it in, shake it, crank up my pump, right? That's the pump dial right there. Crank it up, and then it will pour into the waste tank. So it's pumping, so it's sucking from there, go into here. Let's turn off the pump. So that's how I flush up the system. So another thing that I had, a problem that I had, was that once I was pulling from the dampers, if I was to put my syringe in here, you need a tip. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to save the gaskets that's in there. So when I pull from here, that was not going down. The white ink, that tank, was not going down. But this was going down. The manifold was going down. So that means that there's a clog in the system inside the line because it wasn't pulling directly from the tank. It should have been. So I think that indicated that there was a clog in the white line, which didn't allow flow to the print head and dried it up. So now the solution is to flush out the system with distilled water, change all the dampers, and change new head. That is the solution. So this head number 2. And another thing I did too was I think I kind of introduced airlock because I would put the dampers into here while it's not resting on there. And I think that kind of created kind of pressure. And if there's sediments in here, we get into the dampers as well. So I think that killed it too. So there's a series of things that happened. If you look at the dampers right here, right, there are these black O-rings in there, right? So you're supposed to go in like this, right, and pull the ink from there. If the tip is too big, then these O-rings will be pushed in and damaged. So if you have a little fine tip, then it can go past all that, and then it will keep the seal. So because I had a big syringe, I pushed too hard, and that damaged the O-rings. I pushed it in too much. So that's another mistake, is you need a tip like this. That's fine. I got it on Amazon. Couldn't really get it anywhere else that I could find. So I have a whole bunch of tips right here for my syringe. These are the tips. So a combination thing that made it fail. So now I'm flying out my vendor. He's going to replace the dampers, replace the print head, do low ink, and then we should be up and running. But that was a big learning experience. So now it's just idling right now. The lines are nice and clear. Manifold is clear. He also said, my vendor, that you should not use zip ties because it's not completely round. If you do use the zip ties, it can potentially cause an air an air leak, like a leak, so that it will suck air into the system. So don't use zip ties. That's bad. But these are old, so I don't really care. Once we replace them, the dampers are one use only. You should never use dampers. And yeah, basically just have a whole bunch of dampers on standby. Let's check out my ink here. There, this is the yellow. This is the white. I got one full white left. One full white and a bunch of colors. Yeah, gonna get a little one white though. I got another white here. This is pretty full. So we got about 2 liters of white, which is good. It's gonna be close. And then my blue is completely gone. Because if you look, I have like no blue left. No blue left. Black, I have lots of that. Yellow, magenta, black, and white. So we're gonna go through quite a bit of white, but I think I have enough to keep it working. Black is okay when I use a lot of black. It's this goes first and then this. But you can tell that the black is pretty heavy and magenta is pretty heavy. And sediment, this is the lightest right here. So I got another liter coming for that, and we should be okay. Magenta, we should be okay. Yellow, lost up, black, lost up. Got 2 liters of that. The white, that should let me print. So yeah, that was a big learning experience. So in general, before doing any kind of work on your white, flush it out every 10 liters. Remove your dampers, flush out your lines, clean your tank or replace your tank every 10 liters to reduce sediment. And don't reuse dampers. Always use new ones. And don't use baby wipes besides the Hello Bello, these blue ones, because that screwed me over. There's some kind of chemical in it, and then that just kind of screwed up the printhead on the bottom. Use good moisturizer. We use moisturizer from DTF Toronto. And then use cone swabs. Use the foam swabs to clean underneath the printhead gently with pressure. And that's pretty much about it. It's not really much to it beyond that. But the main thing is the sediment in the white. You want to flush out your lines, just in case, you know. But yeah, that killed my printhead. This is printhead number 2. Not good. So we figured out what happened now, which is good. But it's been a very costly experience. I also a little low on my cleaning solution. This is the anti-clogging solution. I need some of that. Yeah, it's been such a learning experience. 2 weeks, printer's been down. But yeah, learning ain't free, as my vendor said. I also have a little heater right there. That's the heater. That's gonna keep the temperature, you know, because it gets kind of cold. So it's not bad right now, but I try to keep it 23 because I can kind of feel those a little bit cold. But yeah, that's where we're at. Oh, I found another one. We got 3 liters. I think we're good now. Okay, thank God. We good. We got 3 liters of ink. Okay, I'm happy about that. Got 3 liters of ink. Yeah. Okay, so we good for the white. Thank God. I have 5. Went through 2, trying to clean the printhead and unclog it. So next we gotta order some more ink and white. We have lots of film, so that's okay. But yeah, it's been very costly, time consuming as well. So yeah, that's it for now. We're gonna go to the gym, get our mind right, get some pre-workout. Okay, so pre-workout. This is pretty good. We're gonna go to the gym. We're gonna get our mind right. We're gonna pre-workout. We're gonna feel good, and then we can start to figure out how to get back up online. So I'm following up my vendor Monday. He's gonna be here. He's gonna help me get the printer back up and running. Hopefully, be up that night. and I can start printing. Taking back Tuesday to the airport. And then we good. We good. Let's do this.